really putting cannabis use in your face every day, all day, but in like relatable ways, like
also very subtle ways.
Yeah. Like you know, one reel I'm thinking of recently, it was like, you know, your parents who are always against weed, and like the girl is like smoking on camera, but it's this what's it called? The audio is of like, you know, this guy who's like, ooh, I didn't like this, but I didn't used to, but this is kind of nice. And so it was like, you know, saying parents that used to turn their nose up, but now it's like, this is kind of nice. So it's like relatable things like that, because I can imagine we all know some parents or just even adults who are like, no, and then they finally try it and it's like, yeah. But, and I think that's another fight that is to be had just amongst people in general, again, with that, how you view it and how you utilize it. Because also with Bouquet and myself, like, we're involved with Marijuana Matters, which is another like local advocacy group started by Khadijah Tribble. But in working with that group, I have like one of their t-shirts that says Marijuana Matters, and I had an extra one. So of course I'm like, you know what, it's a large, let me give it to my stepdad. Like, you know, I don't need the extra one. And when I tell you, every time that he wears it, like, my parents always like call me and tell me some story about this interaction they've had. Like, they're like, people really like his shirt. Like, they just keep starting conversations, and like
this conversation has let me know I need more marijuana merch.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, like, because it's a conversation starter for sure. Like, when I wore my "No one should be in jail for weed" shirt, like, random people, what was that? I think I was in a Dollar Tree or something, and literally a guy was just walking into the store while I'm at the register, and he was like, "That's true," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh,
I feel you."
Yeah, and I'm like, "What is he talking about?" Like, "Oh, yes, I agree. People shouldn't be in jail for weed." But my parents have like told me these stories, and they're like, "Yeah, like, you have these stories about these men who are like talking about their experiences of like, oh, I had these brownies with my friends and it was great and blah 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 blah." But then, yes. But then on the other side of that is like that same person who will tell a story and is like, "But I'm really concerned about my son. All they do, like, they just smoke every day. Like, you know, I don't think it's good for them to be smoking every day, blah 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 blah." And it's just like, and then and I think they were conflicted because I think that their child had also been diagnosed with cancer, so they were using it for cancer, but then they no longer had cancer or something like that. And then it was just like, "But I'm concerned about their usage of the cannabis." And it was like, "But you just talked about having brownies with friends and you were just having fun with it. Meanwhile, this is a person who like was using cannabis to literally help them, and it's a problem." Like, and I think that's the biggest fight to be had, like, to change people's aspect of like, it's just a fun drug.
That's my PS4 turning on. It's when my TV shuts down, it just takes over and it does that. Yes.
I gotta work on my faces. So.
You're good. Nah, but you bring up a valid point, because that's the intersectionality that folks are not acknowledging when it comes to marijuana and the legalization process and normalizing it in daily life. Not just usage, like the aspects that it needs to be accepted.
Yes, thank you. That was the word I was looking for earlier. And when I was trying to say the destigmatization, it's the normalization of it. That's what like We Go High does. I think they were the group.
That's a
I like it. It was started by, I don't know if she specifically started it or her partner started. She's involved in the group, but Jessamine Stanley, if you're familiar with her, she's the bigger black lady who does yoga normally in her underwear and naked.
Never heard of her.
Yes, you know her.
I know her.
You have to know her. Like, I feel like you've probably seen her in social media throughout the years.
Maybe.
And I think
social media is different. I actually don't pay attention a lot on social media.
She was, yeah, she was just recently she was in the most recent release ads for Ivy Park.
That's so dope.
I know, right?
That's so dope.
And she's like you would like her. Like, she's a very real person. Like, you know, she's like making it, but she lives in an RV with her partner and their dog, and they travel across the country, you know, but she just talks about like things she likes, things she doesn't like, just a very candid view. Like, she literally talks how she feels, which is nice. Like, she'll have wedgies, she'll have like, she wears whatever, and she's just like, why should I conform to and so it's like, I'm like, you go girl, I'm over here still like working on that journey, but you go girl. So she helped start We Go High, NC, North Carolina, whatever, but she helped start it, and it's a really dope like a normalization thing that they put out there. I think it's really nice and helpful. And they were at the National Cannabis Festival. I'm giving all the name like drop thingies. Yeah, I think they actually they recently posted a video or a picture on their Instagram.
Make a nice foundation for you to reach out to them.
Oh, I've reached out. Don't worry.
You're in your bag already.
Oh, yeah,
that's way ahead of you. Yeah.
I know. Once I found out about it. Once I found out, I was like, Alexis, you're going to move to North Carolina. Okay, if you want to move to North Carolina, like, and you want to do cannabis stuff, you want to work on advocacy, what do you need to do? Who do you connect with? I'm like, well, first off, normal. Then it's like, oh, okay, Jessamine Stanley. Like, because my mom is also like, she's really adorable. Don't tell her I said that. But she's really adorable. Like, she will see articles about cannabis and literally like text me the articles and stuff. Aww. And one day while we were talking, she was like, and you know what I just saw in this magazine? There's this girl, she does yoga. Her name's Jessamine Stanley, blah, 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 blah. She's in Durham. And I'm like,
your mom's in it.
Yeah, so.
My friend lives in Durham.
Yeah, so.
I've been out there.
It's nice. That's where I'll be.
Air quality is nice. Where?
Yeah, that's where I'm moving.
It's so good over there.
Yeah, it's much cheaper than being up here. So, yeah.
I thought about moving to North Carolina 10 years ago.
Yeah, but here you are.
Here I am. DC living.
You gonna stay here?
Who knows? I don't have an answer. I have a lot going on. I couldn't answer that honestly if I wanted to. If I did though, I would let you know. Like, no issue. It's just
sounds like at least 5 more years being here.
I don't know. I have family here now. That's a challenge. That little shimmy you just hit too. It's a challenge. Yeah, for me, Get Home Safe is meant to travel. It's not meant to just be in one place.
Home is where the heart is. Duh.
It is. No, it is. I take those words very seriously. So I got 2 homes. My homes right now are in Maryland and New Jersey. Because that's where my 2 families are, right? So, DC's of course there. But when I say Maryland, I'm talking about DC. But it's both, right? So, I was supposed to be in England last year. With the pandemic and everything, I was supposed to travel. I had plans to see and pitch to the community of DC and my followers, hey, this is what mental health looks like across the board. Like in Spain, this is how they handle or don't handle mental health. In New York, these are the groups that are working on it. This is what it looks like. DC, it's pretty aware of DC, but let's bring more awareness to DC, outside of just the everyday. Okay, Texas, what do you have going on the mental health aspect? Isn't acknowledged here. Montana, what the fuck you niggas doing over there?
It's huge. Texas is huge.
Is it?
Is Texas huge?
I'm talking about on mental health.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Yeah, you're like, how is Texas doing? I'm like, you're gonna have to do a few stops in Texas.
Yeah, it's just Houston and Dallas. I'm not going outside of those two places.
Austin.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Amarillo?
I was gonna say I'm not trying to.
You're not trying to hit up.
I mean, I might. You might connect me with some folks. I'm just not trying to go to any sundown towns.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
You know, that's my only concern. You know, keep that thing with me. But that's not what this is about. So, and then like California, Washington, and sprinkle in a couple of main places that people aren't interested in, but there are communities.
Maine places? Maine places?
I have a couple of folks from Maine. You know, like but it's mapping it out and doing it correctly. But long story short, Jamaica also. I'm Jamaican. I want to hear like, hey, are we doing anything for mental health? Do we give a fuck over here about mental health?
If you want to have a mental health talk in Jamaica, please let me know. Like, I feel like this would be really great to have a talk over, say, some like escovitch fish. That's a challenge too.
Like, you said that, I was like, oh, we talking right now.
Like, I'm not gonna say jerk chicken.
Hey, I was gonna say you gonna wake up and be like, hey, you want some mackerel? You want some saltfish? You want some dumpling? What you want? You want some festival? The bag of food. You are making me. I am so hungry right now. I do not want to have this talk anymore.
I know. And all I do is talk about food. No, because now I'm thinking about a shrimp patty. Shrimp patty would be
this whole interview I've been thinking about food.
Yeah. That's why I made sure to eat something small while I was on my drive here. Like, that's what took me the extra 2 minutes longer, because I know I said 15 and I ended up getting here at like 17. So
I like your sneakers, by the way.
Thank you. They're dirty.
Yeah,
I need to clean them. Thank you. Keep them in the shadow.
So you clean your sneakers?
No,
I didn't know if you were one of those folks.
I'm not Maul.
Cleans his sneakers. Wow, Maul just got aired out. I mean, it's not really airing out.
No, it's not. I would say, I was like, Maul would happily look at you and be like, no, I clean my shoes. We had the conversation when we were in Vegas for MJ BizCon. We were like, because I had some like new shoes at that time, and I think I got like a mark on them because, first off, Corey don't know how to walk. Like, I'm putting that out there. He don't know how to walk. This man scuffed my shoes like on a solid 4 times. I was like, can you not hit my shoe? Can you just not hit my shoe? So yeah. So anyways, Maul ended up cleaning my shoes a couple of times.
And during that,
you
know what I did in front of Maul? I stood in a puddle. One day I stood in a puddle.
On purpose?
Nah, it was when we were at Kiera's baby shower. Kiera and Noemi, the baby shower that they did, the whole video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it Kier? Whole time I thought it was Kier.
Well, that's how I say it. Do we pronounce it differently?
Yes.
Are we having a pronunciation moment right now?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Because you're saying 2 syllables.
Am I?
Yes.
Well, that's how I usually say it. Is it just Kier?
That's what I say. That's what I thought.
I do key plus air.
Yeah, I thought it was Kier.
It might be a Jersey thing. I might be breaking things down right
You gotta ask your friend. Am I saying your name right? Like, have I been calling you the wrong name?
I mean,
all this time?
As long as we're in the ballpark and it's still pronounced correctly.
I mean, you said it fast enough.
Yeah, I just,
that's hilarious. Because I was like, Kiera. Oh, Kiera's like.
Oh, no.
That's why I was like, Kiera had a. No. I was like, who is Kiera? And then you were like.
I put a lot of my words together. That's why.
You said Kiera and Noemi. So I was like, Kiera Noemi. I was like,
I don't pronounce the and.
Who is Kiera Noemi?
Conjunction, I don't pronounce the and part. That's a very Jersey thing.
I mean, that was fine. Yeah, but it sounded like Kiera. Noemi. So I was like, oh, this girl that I should clearly know. But that's fine. Because that's how we discovered you don't say Kier.
I don't. I just, Kier,
this is a point of contention.
Yeah.
Not really. I I just want to start trouble.
Your word was so different from what I said, but I mean, I did technically say that to you. Though.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm very big on I'm very big on words, English spelling. Like I'm, as you had like said earlier, like I'm very not particular, but like I think about my words a lot, and I very much so do. Again, for better or for worse, but like I very much so pay attention to what people say.